soon as she said it's like, yeah, the FBI is taking over. I was like, yeah, well, hell, we not gonna find out.
You know what?
Yeah,
then it's a wrap. Then
and they took the vehicle and everything. They got the vehicle in their custody.
Yeah.
And they was like, hell, they not getting access to nothing unless the FBI decides for some reason that they would like to do it.
And they're not.
They're not, because if there's any way that that they feel like, hey, this could come out not in our favor, they're not gonna release none of that shit.
Right.
No.
And they're going, like I said, they're going to continue to do what they're doing. It's like, you're not about to stop this. It's like, what the hell?
Plus we got midterms. We got midterms on the way too.
Yeah, that shouldn't have gamble. But no, it's not going to stop them from being out on the streets. If the Democrats take power, they can't stop Trump from having ICE do its job. That's a mandate. It's like that is a job.
No. I mean, only thing that they can do is just hope that Trump does something that's a little bit too far, that they can start talking about impeachment with, which I think I've heard rumblings about this.
That's the first thing.
Would it even be pointless now? He can't run again.
This is a payback.
If they can get him out, okay. From there, but
impeachment doesn't get you out of office necessarily unless
if it gets approved. Yeah, it gets.
But he got impeached twice already.
Then he got impeached like 4 times.
Impeachment. Technically, once the paperwork has been filed, technically you've been impeached.
Yeah,
but once it doesn't, you don't get kicked out of office until everything goes through and it gets voted. So it's like, when you say, "Oh, this person has been impeached," like, who was it? Was it and Bill Clinton? He got technically impeached, but he still,
still ran. Like,
they still got him.
And same thing with him.
But I'm saying, what exactly does that?
But so what I mean when I'm saying impeach, I mean the process completely goes through to where that they are able to get him out of office.
Oh, the way they get it. 25th Amendment, you mean?
Yeah. So
they would probably try to.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's the only thing that they could possibly hope for as far as winning over some midterms is like, hey, they can hope that maybe he grab another person by the pussy or something and then catch it on camera.
All right.
Or they probably AI, and that's that comes back to the game, which I never understood. I just never understood that throughout all this time, and the people that knew him and was cool with him, and again, because I can remember those days when Trump first hit
videos.
Yeah, he would pop up and be with black people and Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. He gave them money for a charity and received an award for it. So on Oprah and all this shit, it's like everybody loved this nigga back in the day.
Kamala Harris campaign.
Yeah, this dude did a lot of shit. I guess people forget when he had Jennifer Hudson up in his hotel at the Hutt family
got murdered. Oh yeah,
it was a dude that's done a lot of stuff, boy. So I always sit there and laugh to myself like, oh, so we need to become a racist as Al Sharpton when he became a racist after he gave y'all that money and shit. But y'all was cool with him then. Mm-hmm. But then when he decided, and he used to be a Democrat. I don't know if people knew that. The nigga was a registered Democrat. Yeah, but he decided, like everybody else playing the game, hey, how can I get in this game and run some shit? He talked to them people and was like, hey, I can do it off of my personality and my talk. Let me do a couple of things and we good. And
it's funny you said it, because I'm like, we've had that conversation before, and it was like, it was a lot of, real time things. So you know how you have a conversation, then afterwards you start thinking like, oh man, damn, okay, I could have said this or whatever, or, just replaying a conversation. And I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, I don't have any. Like when you go out and you say, "Oh, he's a racist," I'm like, I don't think that he is the kind of racist who specifically hates black people. Let's use black people. He specifically hates black people and wants to see their downfall and wants to participate in their downfall. However, I feel like he don't give a shit about anybody. And only thing that he does or has ever done was something that would potentially benefit him in whether it be like, a social standing or financial down the road. And But at the same time, it's like, hey, I can't, really dispute, the things that I just happen to disagree with on his standpoint. But then when you bring up the stuff that he has done in the past, I'm just like, hey, I don't see any of that stuff as being altruism. I'm like, I didn't think he legend for us and family stay in his in his building just out of the kindness and the goodness of his heart. I'm like, he absolutely knew that it was going to be on the front page the next day, and it was going to make people be like, oh man, isn't Donald Trump a good guy? Now, and that also being said, is like, hey man, if I give you $1,000 2 years ago, but I smack you in the face right now, what you gonna care more about? Like, I'm gonna care more about that smack. Like, you can't tell me like, hey man, I know I just smacked you in the face, but I gave you $2,000 last, the other year. You remember? Don't get mad.
Don't get mad.
Like, no, that's not how the shit works. It's like, you are what you are currently doing in the moment, and like, you can't be like, hey, I did this, this good deed 30 years ago, so I can't possibly be racist. Like, it's very possible that he's racist, but
honestly, I don't think it's racism. I think that he don't fuck with broke people.
Like I said, I just don't think he care about anybody but himself, like, and his rich buddies, people that can make him more rich.
Right? Yeah, it's like, don't fuck with people that's broke.
Because I be having conversation with people about Trump and whatever. I don't care about it. Me. It don't matter to me, but I do notice that people like to still bring up the Central Park Five and him not renting to black people. Well, guess whatever. Guess what?
Black people don't rent to black people.
Guess what?
The fuck?
I got so tired of people bringing up those two topics to me. I actually went to go look up that shit, and they asked it wrong.
About the Central Park Five?
The Central Park Five. I guess he put out an article. I went to go look up the article, what it actually said. A whole bunch of misinformation out there. He put out an article that was directly to some of the audience and the mayor and the city, stating that if you kill someone, you deserve the death penalty. Somewhere along that line. There was a whole lot in that article.
This is what Trump said?
Yes. It was pertaining to the Central Park Five, but people like to say he was saying that the children or the kids deserve the death penalty, but they admitted to rape. They admitted to raping. She was alive. So how did you go from he talking about the death penalty to that's not even what they went to jail for?
Right.
But people don't do their research and don't look this up. Even when the property thing, Trump was not renting to anyone or did not want to rent to anyone that could not afford to rent. But he didn't understand that there were certain laws in place in the housing market to where you have to rent to 20 or 30% low income or subsidized. However many apartments you have inside the building, you have to have 20% subsidized for people that have lower income. But of course, the notion was being pushed. He don't want to rent to black people. No. That's all they saw. He didn't want to rent to anyone who couldn't afford to rent.
He probably didn't want to rent to black folks.
And then what? And let's be honest. Hey, nigga, I've been with good jobs and been refused by places I know I could afford.
But that's what he went to court for. He went to court because he didn't want to rent to anyone, not because he went to court because he didn't want to rent to black people, but he went to court because he didn't want to rent to anyone who couldn't afford to rent. That's a big difference. But society just want to make it.
When you talk about like racist people and stuff, and people who could be racist or might be racist, I look at it like this, and I think this applies to Donald Trump. And this applies to most of the Fortune 500 CEOs in this country. So I think just Fortune 500. Is that just U.S. or that's worldwide? Fortune 500. Is that just America?
That's worldwide.
Okay, well. So I looked this up before, and they said about, I think they said 60% of all the Fortune 500 CEOs are over the age of 60. I want to say. I think like the average. No, not 60%. The average age of the Fortune 500 CEO is like 65 or something like that. Just the average. So it's obviously going to be much older and much younger. So what I think that tells me, and this kind of like what kicked me off to look up this was the Campbell soup thing. And like I said, I think this applies to Donald Trump as well. If you look at the age of that person, and then you think about who their parents were. If this person is Donald Trump, he's what, 81?
I think he's like 81.
All right, so
he old.